German chancellor was sitting right there, cameras rolling, 1.6 million people watching, and Trump pointed at the man's country and told him his father was born in it.
Don't forget, both my parents were born in EU sectors, okay? I mean, my mother was Scotland, my father was Germany.
My father's from Germany. Both of my parents are from the EU.
I have great respect for Angela, and I have great respect for the country. My father is German, right? Was German. Born in a very wonderful place in Germany.
Trump just tacked on a random lie because, why not? When he was talking about German Chancellor Angela Merkel.
I have great respect for Angela, and I have great respect for the country. My father is German, right? Was German.
Yes, it's true. Frederick Trump was born in a very wonderful place in Germany, New York City, in 1905.
My father was born in a wonderful part of Germany, very West Germany, and...
So, Dermot, what first brought you into show business?
Well, John, it's an interesting question. We haven't got all night, of course, but I don't know how this happened during the break, but this guy's very, very convincing. I'm still here with the brilliant John Cleese and Charlize Theron. John, so you're over here at the moment, you spend a lot of time UK, US?
Well, I work a lot in the US because they're such fans of Python, and it's very easy to earn good money there. And I don't have to be here in the winter, which I refuse to do. I mean, people have a bucket list, and I have one thing on my bucket list, which is that I never want to be cold again.
As objectively as you can, if such a thing is possible, how have you noticed that America's different now Trump's in power?
Does the Pope shit in the woods?
Because we see it obviously here from the news.
It's completely mad.
What, on the ground there, do you feel it?
People don't want to admit how mad it is. But Eric and I were on tour, and we went on stage the night after the election. And we get out in front of 2,000 people, and they're sitting there like this. They cannot believe what's happened. And we said it's our duty to cheer you up tonight. They all roared and clapped, but it's completely mad. I mean, the guy says, 3 days ago? He says, I've sent an armada towards North Korea. And then we find 2 days later that it's actually sailing in the opposite direction. I think that's what people say, except that the Trump supporters are still at about 38, 39%. They still think he's great.
Yeah.
But these are the stupidest people you've ever met. The one I thought was just wonderful. There was a woman on supporting him, and somebody said, what do you feel about that time when he was recorded on the bus saying, if you'll forgive me saying so, that if you're a celebrity, women expect you to grab them or grab their pussy?
Yeah.
And she said he would never have said that if he'd known he was being recorded.
And Fred Trump was born in the Bronx, New York, 1905. And that fact is in the New York Times obituary, and had been corrected directly to Trump's face 4 separate times across 4 separate years before this specific moment. And he said it to the actual Chancellor of Germany. Complete certainty, which is the specific certainty of a man who has decided that the number of times something has been corrected is not relevant information. Colbert walked directly to his desk, carrying a single sheet of paper, and sat down without his usual entrance. The audience understood before he opened his mouth that whatever was on that paper had earned the walk. It said he had Fred Trump's birth certificate, let the camera zoom in, and read it. Bronx, New York, the 11th of October, 1905. Not Germany, never Germany, the Bronx. The audience laughed and then stopped laughing because the laugh arrived at the same time as the alarm, and the two things together produce a specific sound that is not quite either one. And Colbert reached into the folder and pulled out a second document. Trump speaking in a documented interview. My father is German, was German, born in a very wonderful place in Germany. Corrected. He pulled out another page. CBS News. Trump says father born in Germany. Corrected. Another page. 2020, Fox News, same claim, corrected again. 4 corrections, 4 separate years, 4 separate times someone showed him the birth certificate, and today, sitting next to the actual Chancellor of Germany, pointed at the man's country and said it again. If you grew up in an era when a man's word was measured against his knowledge of his own family, you already understood what Colbert was building before he picked up the birth certificate a final time. This is the man who told the country he has one of the greatest memories of anyone who has ever lived. This is the man who told the country he went to Wharton, top of his class. This is the man who told the country he aced a cognitive test so decisively doctors were shocked. And today, he could not remember where his own father was born, a fact his own niece had to correct publicly on social media the same morning, a fact that has been in the public record since October 11th, 1905. If you haven't subscribed to the narrative brief yet, hit the button, 2 seconds. Colbert picked up Fred Trump's birth certificate one final time and held it toward the camera. It has always said Bronx, New York. 4 corrections could not make it say Germany, and set it down quietly, the way you set down something that has just ended an argument. The pattern is not that Trump got his father's birthplace wrong. The pattern is that he was told the correct answer 4 times and produced the wrong answer a 5th time. Uncertainty that survives 4 corrections is not a memory, it is a decision. To keep saying Germany after 4 people showed him the Bronx is documented across 4 years, and now a 5th statement in the public record where it will stay. Comments are open. The document is in the public record if you want to add the 5th correction yourself. Trump posted the next morning that the meeting with the chancellor had been fantastic. He did not mention the Bronx, did not address the birth certificate, did not explain the 4 corrections, or the 5th statement. He moved on, and the birth certificate did not move. The patterns repeat. We slow them down.